everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We saw the end of last week's NXT as Stephanie McCure learned that Jordan Grace was going to challenge her for the Women's Championship. We'll get that coming up. Plus, we'll talk about this right here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Here's the rundown and what's going down the NXT Ring report right here. We talk about this. Dawn is back in action. First time since Stand Deliver. Tony D'Angelo will take on Wesley one-on-one. We'll see that match coming up. Also, too, we'll see this right here. NXT champion Oba Femi takes on what's his name? God Dixon from No Catch Crew. We'll see that match coming up. Plus, we'll see Trick Williams against Joe Henry. That'll happen at Battleground, but they have a contract signing and put pen to paper and can't miss contract signing. But we get the NXT Ring Report started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, presents the NXT Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you join us in the NXT Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe if you can. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's not waste no time whatsoever. We'll get to Joe Henry and Trick Williams a little bit later on in the show, but we're going to get to this. Oba Femi learned that last week that he's going to put the NXT Championship on the line against this man right here, Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne getting his first chase at some NXT Gold. He kind of reminds me of Randy Orton when he was younger, like a Randy Orton with no hair, vicious Randy Orton. You can recall almost 15 years ago, Randy Orton was vicious and stuff. Well, we know that he earned the opportunity last week, and he will take on Oba Femi. Oba Femi came in to address him, to congratulate him, until Charlie Dempsey came out of nowhere and said that he was going to be the one to beat him. Charlie Dempsey really put his mouth to it and foot in his mouth. Well, what's his name? Miles Bourne said, Charlie Dempsey, you want to wrestle so bad, you want to talk about him, do so tonight. But beforehand, Miles Bourne opened the show. He opened the show, talked about his disability, being deaf. You really can't hear. I can't tell because he can wrestle. How can you be deaf when you can, you're wrestling and stuff, but, he has a disability. You have to be a little bit sensitive. But maybe he knows the cues and stuff like that. Maybe he knows something that we don't know. But Charlie Dempsey saying he wants to be NXT champion. He'll do what he needs to do. Well, his Cash Crew partner was in action, and Charlie Dempsey did so tonight. Oba Femi, wasting no time whatsoever. Oba Femi taking it to him and took down Charlie Dempsey and led an example that Miles Bourne are really gonna have to prove his worth against Oba, and we'll see that match coming up. Oba Femi gonna really have his hands full. Oba Femi could be the one, could be the jester to lead that way, as you saw right here. Oba Femi, Eva, the general manager, leading the charge, telling him about his match. And Oba Femi is going to really have his work cut out for him, if you know what I mean. Well, the women's division is a little bit getting heating up. I don't know what Tatum Paxley's doing. Dia Hill and the rest of the women, Carmen Petronova, all of them are kind of trying to figure out what's next for them and what's going on. Even to the point that Kalana Jordan, Sora Ruka, and Zaria are really having problems. Sora Ruka's the NXT North American Women's Champion. Keanu Jordan was the first NXT Women's North American Champion. A lot of stuff being put down. I'll say that right now. So even to the point that Bubba Ray and The Undertaker made a rare appearance tonight with their LFG grads, Tyra May Steele, Forgot the other girl name, but Bubba Ray saying they're gonna wrestle on the. It had to be taped. So Bubba Ray saying they're gonna wrestle each other in New York. So that had to be taped when that was in New York. So the Undertaker granted his knowledge and stuff in too. So we'll see what the Undertaker will do and have to say about all this. Well, Stacks, Tony D'Angelo is back. Tony D'Angelo was back in the ring for the first time since Stand and Deliver. Tony D'Angelo looking for Stacks. Stacks wasn't nowhere to be found. But Stacks played a key role. Stacks out and about playing with D'Angelo. I don't know why he's playing with D'Angelo, but D'Angelo doesn't. You can smell a rat. You know they say you can smell a rat. Stacks playing with D'Angelo. We know that Tony Stacks and D'Angelo will have a match at Battleground. They'll have a match one on one. So Stacks versus D'Angelo one on one at Battleground. We'll see that match coming in fruition and however that's going to be coming up. So look forward to see that match as well. Well, we get to this right here, the contract signing Henry for the TNA Championship. Trick Williams getting a shot. Trick Williams could be the first WWE star to win the TNA and the NXT Championship. Be the first NXT star to do so. And well, Ava held the contract signing in house in her office. Was doing it and stuff right here. And it led to what went down. Ava monitoring the contract sign between Trick Williams and Joe Henry. Joe Henry saying that he has something to prove. Joe Henry been a big name, came to WrestleMania and Wrestle Orton, Randy Orton's challenge. He lost, but he really made a valiant effort. Trick Williams a little bit cocky and arrogant. Trick Williams saying that he's bigger than TNA and in NXT put together, saying that he's going to take the NXT championship away from Joe Henry. Trick Williams saying he's bigger. I could probably see Trick Williams become TNA champion, but who knows if TNA will now do business and stuff. But I think they're going this far in the partnership and stuff. It'll be like Trick Williams being a brand ambassador, and then Trick Williams kind of will help TNA out as its champion. You never know. You never know. But the two men beg to disagree on one end of the spectrum on what was going on and how it was supposed to be and how it was meant to be. But you can tell at Battleground these two men will meet for the TNA title. We're going to see Joe Henry's heart, desire, his fortitude. Can he stay TNA champion? Can he defeat Trick Williams in a big time match like this? This is the first time the TNA championship will be defended in a WWE ring. You will never imagine the TNA championship being defended in a WWE ring this magnitude. If you would have told me 15 years ago, hey, TNA and WWE going to be partners, I wouldn't believe you because WWE at the time was under Vince McMahon and Dixie Carter. I think Dixie would have allowed it, but Vince wouldn't. Vince, his ego too big, and Vince no longer with the company as well as Dixie no longer TNA. Both of them are still minority shareholders. They're just not major shareholders like they once. So this is a big deal right here. Speaking of a big deal coming up, we know both men love to sing and do everything. Joe Henry will have a concert, one of his famous concerts coming up as well as Trick Williams. Trick Williams will have his rap concert. So next week, Joe Henry and Trick Williams will have their respective concerts. Trick Williams will be doing a rap performance as well as Joe Henry will be live in concert. This is gonna be interesting. Will someone interrupt someone's concert? That's the question that everybody wants to know. We get an answer to that. So we will have to wait and see. We'll see that next week. Like we said, right on the tagline, the Trick Williams Joe Henry concerts are set next week. So we'll see how that's gonna go next week as well. Well, we get to the main event. And the main event was that we can show it. We told you last week that Stephanie Ricker had had defeated, well, not Stephanie, but Jordan Grace had defeated Stephanie to earn a shot at Stephanie Ricker's championship. So Jordan Grace will get a shot at Stephanie Ricker's title. You can see right here, Stephanie Ricker looking on, as you tell right here, be a fighting champion. She's been a fighting champion thus far. She's been fighting for quite some time. And so now we're gonna see how all that's gonna come about next week for them and stuff. How all this is gonna do. For Stephanie Ricker. Stephanie Ricker looking forward to her match against Jordan Gray. They'll have that battleground as well as these two women were in tag team action against Fatal Attraction. Jordan Grace just destroying Fatal Attraction and got the win, saving herself from sacrificing herself to Stephanie. But the pinfall didn't end. But Jordan Grace found the way to win and defeated one of the members of Fatal Influence. And now we know that Jordan Grace will picking up Stephanie. Both men and women looking to eyeing the championship. So they're both keeping a close eye on how that's going to go. So we're keeping a very close eye on this and how all this is going to play out in that match next week. Well, that's going to do it here for the Pro Wrestling Show. Well, we got a comment right here. Yeah, we got a comment with this comments. Viewers. Real quick. This is the comment right here. Said Joe Henry and Trick Williams main event at NXT Battleground. You know, that might be a good idea. I mean, both men are really good main event Battleground. Both are Trick, a former NXT champion. It really makes sense, but I don't know. We don't know right now on how all this is going to play out, Mr. James, on how this is going to feed out eventually. I would like to see them main event stay at the level, but who knows? They could maybe stay at the level. Yeah, really never will know. So, thanks for the comment and the feedback and stuff. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We got feedback, and we're the voice of the people. We're gonna listen to you. We're gonna highlight what you're thinking. And we thank you for your comment. Thank you all for watching this edition on the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you tomorrow for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report, where the world title will be online. Samoa Joe challenging Moxley as well. We leave you with the TNA world title situation. Trick Williams, Joe Henry having their contract signed. So for me being Ken Dix, saying so long. Thanks for watching the Pro